We appreciate the assistance, civilian. But what's your business here?
そっちが先に名乗ってくれない？
In due time. If you want to remain in our compound, I suggest you answer my question first.
ただここで生き残ろうとしているだけ。他のみんなと同じ。
The way you charged in and engaged those ferals, I find that a bit difficult to believe. Are you from a local settlement?
実は家がないのよ。
An answer that I hear often. Whether it holds truth or not remains to be seen. If I appear suspicious, it's because our mission here has been difficult. Since the moment we arrived in the Commonwealth, we've been constantly under fire. If you want to continue pitching in, we could use an extra gun on our side.
協力はしたいけど隠し事は嫌い。あなたは何者なの？
Very well. I'm Paladin Dance, Brotherhood of Steel. Over there is Scribe Halen and Knight Reese. I've been trying to send a distress call to our vessel at Boston International Airport, but the signal's too weak to reach them.
Sir, if I may,
Proceed, Halen.
I've modified the radio tower on the roof of the police station, but I'm afraid it just isn't enough. What we need is something that will boost the signal.
Our target is ArcJet Systems, and it contains the technology we need, the deep-range transmitter. We infiltrate the facility, secure the transmitter, and bring it back here. So what do you say? You willing to lend the Brotherhood of Steel a hand?
いい考えだわ。もし無事に帰れるならね。
I can assure you that I wouldn't undertake this mission unless I had confidence in your abilities. Halen, take Reese inside and bind his wounds.
Yes, sir.
Reese, once you're on your feet, I want you to make certain the perimeter is secure.
I'm on it.
All right, civilian. It's time to prove your worth. Head into the police station and resupply yourself. Then let me know when you're ready to begin. Let's move out, people.
All right, big guy. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm coming.
You ready to move out?
準備完了よ。
Outstanding. Follow me, and try not to lag behind. They've stealth. Fire! Multiple synth targets. Take them down. Compromised most.
restored. Thermal and command accepted. Commencing 5-second countdown. Engine firing.
Bunker looks clear. Let's move out.
Dance?
Well, that could have gone smoother, but mission accomplished.
すんなり行くはずだった？うまくやれたと思うけど。
That sweep was sloppy. We were caught unprepared more than once, which is unacceptable. However, your extra gun gave us the edge we needed. I'm not certain I could have accomplished the mission alone. That being said, I believe we have two important matters to discuss. First and foremost, if you'll hand me the deep-range transmitter, I'd like to compensate you for your assistance during this operation. I think you'll find this weapon useful. It's my own personal modification of the standard Brotherhood laser rifle. May it serve you well in battle. I insist you keep it. The Brotherhood believes in paying all of its debts. Now, as far as the second matter goes, I wanted to make you a proposal. We had a lot thrown at us back there. Our op could have ended in disaster, but you kept your cool and handled it like a soldier. There's no doubt in my mind that you've got what it takes. When we met at the police station, you told me you wanted to join the Brotherhood of Steel. Is that something you're still willing to do? Or should we just say our goodbyes?
参加できることを光栄に思うわ。
That's what I wanted to hear.
Glad to see you alive and well, sir.
Are we in luck, sir?
Mission accomplished. We have the transmitter.
Finally, some good news for a change. Nice work, sir.
I didn't do it alone. Aelin, Reese, it's time to welcome our newest recruit to the Brotherhood. She shows a lot of promise, and with the proper guidance, I think she has the potential of becoming one of the best.
感謝する。失望させないことを誓うわ。
You don't have to prove anything else to me. Getting that transmitter was enough.
So you decided to stay, huh? I expected you to take your payment and run.
お互いハグでもして手打ちにするってのはどう？
It's gonna take a lot more than completing one mission to impress me.
Reese, that's enough. I only ask for two things from anyone under my command. Honesty and respect. You fall in line, you stay in line. I give you an order, and you follow it. It's as simple as that. There's one last order of business I wanted to get out of the way. I'm going to recommend you to be awarded the rank of Knight. Now, nothing's official until you speak to Elder Maxim, but I wanted you to be the first to know.
なら、そもそもどうしてここなの？
I'm not sure, but I think it might have something to do with the data on the Commonwealth my team gathered before it arrived. We call our ship the Prydwen. She's loaded with enough troops and supplies to mount a major offensive. I've received orders that we're both to report to her immediately. Follow me up to the roof of the police station. We're going for a little ride. That minigun in front of you is loaded and ready to fire. If you spot anything hostile during the flight, I suggest you put it to good use. Make sure you properly identify your targets before you start shooting. We don't want to have any mishaps and fire on the locals. The Commonwealth looks different from up here, doesn't it? It never ceases to amaze me how drastically your perception of the battlefield changes from the air. We're gonna need that edge when we take on the Institute. They've already proven that they're technologically superior, which means there's no telling what types of weapons they'll have in their arsenal. Hopefully, Our air superiority and tactical know-how will make the difference. Now all we have to do is find them. And I'm betting that Elder Maxon will have a plan already in place by the time we arrive. If we fail, it's only a matter of time before the enemy overwhelms the population. Cleansing the Commonwealth is our duty, and I will gladly spill my own blood if it ensures our victory. We're on final approach to the airport. The Prydwen should be coming into view just ahead. We'll be meeting Lancer Captain Kells on the flight deck. Just stick close to me and answer all of his questions. There she is. It's been far too long since I've been aboard. All right, soldier. This is the moment when everything changes. I hope you're ready.
Permission granted, and welcome back, Paladin. Allow me to be the first to congratulate you on a successful mission. And is this our new recruit?
Yes, sir. I field promoted her to initiate, and I'd like to sponsor her entry into our rankings personally.
Yes, we've read your reports. You'll be pleased to know that Elder Maxon's approved your request. Place the recruit in your charge.
Thank you, sir. And my current orders?
You are to remain on the Prydwen and await further instructions.
Very good, sir.
They are experimenting with dangerous technologies that could prove to be the world's undoing for the second time in recent history. The Institute scientists have created a weapon that transcends the destructive nature of the atom bomb. They call their creation the Sith, a robotic abomination of technology that is free-thinking and masquerades as a human being. This notion that a machine could be granted free will is not only offensive, but horribly dangerous. And like the atom, if it isn't harnessed properly, it has the potential of rendering us extinct as a species. I am not prepared to allow the Institute to continue this line of experimentation. Therefore, the Institute and their Siths are considered enemies of the Brotherhood of Steel, and should be dealt with swiftly and mercilessly. This campaign will be costly, and many lives will be lost. But in the end, we will be saving humankind from its worst enemy. Itself. Ad Victoriam!
Ad Victoriam! Ad Victoriam!
I care about them, you know. The people of the Commonwealth. I refuse to allow the mistakes of the past to be repeated.
大丈夫。納得した。
Paladin Dance's reports were quite clear regarding your feelings toward the Brotherhood. And he concludes that you'd be an asset to us. Seeing as he's one of my most respected field officers, you couldn't get a better recommendation. Therefore, from this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of Knight. And, befitting your title, we're granting you a suit of power armor to protect you on the field of battle. Wear it with pride.
期待に添えるよう最善を尽くすわ。
I'm certain that you will. In any event, once you're finished becoming familiar with the Prydwen and my staff, report to the flight deck for your new orders. Welcome aboard the Prydwen, soldier. Make us proud.
How did it go with Elder Maxon?
他の連中と比べてマクソンは若すぎるようだけど大丈夫なの？
Don't let his age fool you. Maxon's a brilliant tactician, a formidable warrior, and possesses an idealistic vision for the future of the Brotherhood. I'd follow him anywhere, without question.
なぜそこまで彼の力を信頼する？
A decade ago, the Brotherhood had almost gone completely astray. The Elder before Maxon sent us down a path that was leading nowhere. He was more concerned about charity than the preservation of technology. But when Maxon took over, he single-handedly reprioritized the Brotherhood from the ground up and put us back on the path to glory. This ship and its crew are a testament to his leadership.
実に熱い男ね。自らの言葉すべてに責任を負っているように思えるわ。
Of course he does. How could he afford not to? I just hope you appreciate how much of a chance I'm taking bringing you into the fold this quickly. Not to put too fine a point on it, but if you screw up, we go down together.
Now that you've familiarized yourself with the Prigman's crew, are you ready for your next assignment, sister?
何をすればいいの？
I applaud your enthusiasm, Knight. Let's get right to it then. Shall we?
Annoyed. What is it?
全てはただ虚しいだけだ。
Human, let's play!
全てはただ虚しいだけだ。
Look at this place. You must hate these mutants as much as I do.
なぜそんなにスーパーミュータントを憎むの？
They're responsible for the death of a close friend, a Brotherhood knight named Cutler. I've been fighting for years, trying to put a stop to this madness. And just when I thought we were getting the upper hand, along come the synths. I've seen what these super mutants do to people. Can you imagine what the synths would do to us if they ever got the upper hand? It would be Armageddon repeated, and maybe the end of everything that we hold dear. Look, I don't mean to bore you with my rhetoric. I just want you to understand how important these missions are.
人造人間がどうやって人類に破滅をもたらすと？
If the synths reached the point where they outnumbered mankind, how long would it take for them to decide we were no longer necessary? They certainly possess the capability to make more of their own kind, so we'd become expendable. And with Institute technology on their side, nothing could stop them, not even the Brotherhood. It's a nightmare scenario almost too terrible to contemplate. Anyway, that's enough of that. What's important here is that you got the job done and secured these warheads. You should head back up to the Prydwen and talk to Maxon. I'm sure he'll want to debrief you as soon as possible. Dismissed. There's still that off-the-record matter I'd like to discuss. Do you have time now?
オフレコで？ダンスらしくないわ。
Which is why this is going to be difficult to say. So I'd appreciate it if you bear with me. When you were first placed under my sponsorship, I had some serious reservations about it. Despite all that, this has turned out to be a rewarding experience. For both of us. At this point, honestly, I don't feel like there's anything else I could teach you about being a Brotherhood soldier that you don't already know. It's apparent from your attitude and your actions that you intend to keep those ideals close to your heart.
そう言われるのは大変光栄だけど、何か他にある気がする。
There is. I'm just not very good at these sort of things. Let me start at the beginning. I grew up alone in the capital wasteland. Spent most of my childhood picking through the ruins and selling scrap. When I was a bit older and had a few caps to my name, I moved into Rivet City and opened a junk stand. While I was there, I met a guy named Cutler. We got along pretty well. Watched each other's backs and kept each other out of trouble. When the Brotherhood came through on a recruiting run, we felt like it was a way out of our nowhere lives. So we joined up.
リベットシティ？聞いたことがない。戦後にできたんでしょ？
You're right. It was a settlement, built inside the remains of a beached aircraft carrier. One of the safest places to live in the capital wasteland, a until the Brotherhood arrived. It was the perfect location for me to try my hand at being a merchant.
ジャンク屋に収まらずに大きな野心を抱いてくれていてよかったわ。
Once I saw what the Brotherhood had to offer, there was no comparison. Anyway, about a year after we were posted to the Prydwen, Cutler vanished on a scouting op. It took some convincing, but I was able to persuade my CO to let me assemble a squad and search for him. It took almost 3 weeks, but we tracked his team down to a super mutant hive. Those wretched abominations had slaughtered everyone but Cutler. He should have been so lucky. The mutant bastards used their FEV to change him into one of their own kind. He wasn't Cutler anymore. I had to... It was my duty to put him down.
BOS から教わったことをやったわけね。
Then you understand why it had to be done. Ever since Cutler died, I've seen other soldiers come and go. Some were brave, some were honest. Hell, some were even downright heroic. But I'd never considered any of them to be a good friend. A friend like Cutler was. Until now. It's a good feeling, but it frightens me all the same. Having a bond with someone, then losing them. It changes you. I don't want to go through that again.
そんなことは絶対に起こらない。起こさせない。
I didn't know you felt that strongly about about us. I'm sorry if I seem confused. You've certainly given me something to think about. I just thought you deserved to know how I felt. If you feel that I've overstepped my bounds, I completely understand. Whatever the case may be, I appreciate the fact that you took the time to listen.
All of us are aware of the risks you're taking, and we salute you. That being said, this is the first time we've attempted to directly adapt Institute technology. When we throw that switch, we don't know exactly what's gonna happen. God willing, you'll end up inside the Institute, and the mission can continue.
探し求めていた答えにここまで近づいたの。誰にも止めることはできないわ。
Eager to get inside, huh? Good. Now, I want you to listen very carefully. Once you've entered the Institute, we expect to lose contact, so it's imperative you remember everything I'm about to tell you.
すぐに取り掛かります、エルダ。
Very good. Very good. Listen to me, Knight. I'm well aware that you're risking your life going into the Institute blind. Just keep your mind on the mission, and don't let anything they say sway you from your duty. Good luck.
By the way, this little trip you're taking is a heck of an opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. I put a clever little program on this holotape that'll scan their network and download anything it finds. If you place it in any terminal down there, it'll do the rest. Bring it back to me and I'll see if I can make sense of whatever it found. Well, well, looks like we have a winner! RF wave capture complete. Ramping the emitter. 60%, 80%, stay safe, soldier!
Thanks to the success of your reconnaissance efforts, it's time to advance our operations to the next phase. I want you to report to Proctor Ingram at the airport. She has a special project that requires your immediate attention. Once again, Knight, you don't fail to impress. Dismissed.
If you have the time to talk now, I'd still like to know what you think about Scribe Halen.
スクライブヘイレン？彼女に何かあったの？
No, not at all. Halen's doing well. I simply wanted to talk to you about her, but I wanted to know what you thought of her first.
彼女はこの上なく献身的よ。本当のチームプレイヤーね。
I couldn't agree more. A few months before you found us, one of my men was shot multiple times by raiders. Halen stayed by that knight's side for 2 days straight, without sleep, fighting to keep him alive. But he was on a slow decline. I decided that his suffering needed to end and ordered Halen to administer an overdose of painkillers so he could die with dignity. Even though I'm certain she wanted to continue fighting for that knight's life. She injected him without question.
彼女は正しいことをした。
Of course she did. But the decision whether or not to ease that soldier's suffering isn't the point here. The point is what happened later that same evening. Halen approached me while I was on watch. She didn't say a word, but I could tell something was wrong. After what felt like an eternity, she collapsed into my arms, crying. I didn't know what to do, so I just held her for a while. A few minutes later, she stopped, kissed me on the cheek, and simply said, "Thank you," before heading back into the police station. Right then it hit me. Maybe I pushed her too hard. I ordered her to ignore her instincts, to do something her medical training told her was wrong. That's why I'm worried about her. And for that matter, everyone under my command. Look, 4 soldiers. Over half of my team are gone. Each one of them died because of decisions that I made. I understand the risks that come with the job. We all do. But how can anyone have confidence in me anymore? Hell, how can I have confidence in myself?
ヘイレンを腕で支えた話を聞くと、あなたは部下のことを大切に思っている。そして部下もそう思ってるわ。
I never thought of it that way. Well, it looks like things have taken a turn. I signed up to be your sponsor, so I teach you everything that I know. But it looks like I'm the one that needed the lesson today. All joking aside, I'm pleased that we had this discussion. And with all the problems you're facing, you still took the time to listen. It's comforting to know that I can speak to you as more than just your commanding officer.
必要な時は私のことも腕の中で支えてくれる？
I don't know. I never thought you'd ask me something like that. It would depend on the circumstances, but I suppose we'll just have to see what happens when the time comes.
Is there anything you wish to tell me, Knight?
全く何も隠してないわ。
I find that very hard to believe. Proctor Quinlan completed the decryption of the data you retrieved from the Institute. A portion of his findings included a list of synths that went missing or escaped from their underground facility. After careful analysis of the information, we've discovered something unprecedented. Paladin Dance is a perfect match for one of the synths on that list.
何か間違いがあるに違いない。
In my experience, Proctor Quinlan doesn't make mistakes. The data you brought back included a record of each subject's DNA. We keep the same information on file for all of our soldiers. Paladin Dance's DNA is a perfect match for a synth they called M797. To make matters worse, he's gone AWOL, disappeared without a trace. His sudden absence simply reinforces our conclusion that M797 and Paladin Dance are one and the same. I'm finding it difficult to believe that he never confided in you and then swore you to secrecy.
彼が何か話せば直ちに報告するのが私の義務のはずよ。
Apparently I've misjudged you, which means I've decided to take you at your word. However, that doesn't absolve you of your duty. Dance is a synth. He represents everything we hate, a monstrosity of technology. Our mission in the Commonwealth is clear. The Institute and its creations need to be destroyed in order to preserve our future, which leaves me facing the most difficult order I've ever given. I'm ordering you to hunt down Dance and execute him. Listen, I'm not blind to the fact that Dance was your mentor, and this isn't an easy burden to bear. But if we're to remain strong, we can't afford to make exceptions, even when it means executing one of our own. Find Proctor Quinlan. He's been analyzing the data and should be able to provide you with a starting point. And Knight, there's a promotion for you riding on the results of these orders. So don't disappoint me. You're dismissed.
Knight, I was told you were coming. Sorry about this business with Dance.
この状況について何を知っている？
While I was decrypting all of the data you acquired from within the Institute, I came across a list. It appears that the Institute keeps exemplary records where their synths are concerned, including logging those that were reported missing. As I was perusing this list, I came across an image of Dance under the heading M797. A quick DNA comparison with our own records told the rest of the tale. I'm certain this comes as quite a shock to you, Knight. I'm sorry.
謝罪はいらない。彼がどこにいるか知りたい。
Yes, you're quite right. I've been poring over Dance's duty reports, and unfortunately, I haven't found any concrete information. As you're well aware, Dance had intimate knowledge of the Commonwealth, and I'm afraid he could be seeking refuge anywhere. I think our best approach would be to identify every location he's ever visited and eliminate them as possibilities one by one. You may want to get comfortable. This could take quite a bit of...
What the hell is this crap about Dance being a synth?
I assume your outburst was a reference to some doubt regarding Dance's identity. I can assure you that my findings are quite accurate, Scribe.
So he sets Dance up, and then you knock him down. Is that it?
命令は命令よ。
Orders are orders? That's all you have to say? I can't believe that after everything Paladin Dance did for you, you're just gonna turn your back on him like this. There's obviously been a mistake, and we need to get to the bottom of it.
Scribe Halen, you're addressing a senior officer, and you will show her the respect that she's due, or so help me, I'll have you brought up on charges. Now, unless you're here with information that can assist us, I suggest you return to the police station immediately.
Of course. My apologies, Proctor. I believe I have some information that's relevant to the search.
Very well then. Would you care to enlighten us? Or do we have to wait until you decide to grace us with your knowledge?
Knight, if you'd accompany me to the flight deck, I'd like to show you the information I've compiled firsthand. I've stored the data on my Vertibird gunship's computer.
ダンス発見に役立つ何かが必要よ。
Yes, ma'am.
Proceed, Knight. I'll continue doing my research here.
If you'll follow me, ma'am. You actually plan on killing Paladin Dance?
それは危険な質問よ、ヘイレン。
I know it is, but I need you to listen to me for a minute. I've known Paladin Dance ever since I was an initiate. He trained me, showed me the ropes, and when I screwed up, he taught me to dust myself off and move on. He's earned my admiration, my respect, and my friendship. I don't care what Quinlan's report says. I don't care if he's a machine or not. He's still Dance.
裏切り者に同情しているのね。
That's exactly my point. Dance is the most selfless person I've ever met. I've watched him risk his own life based on nothing more than principle alone. That's why I'm asking you, not just as a member of the Brotherhood, but as a human being. Give him a chance. Let him tell his side of the story. If you're not convinced by what he says, or somehow he's become truly lost to us, then you do what you have to do.
命令に背けと？
Can't you put the Brotherhood aside, even for a moment? Am I really asking that much? Just talk to him. Find out what's going on inside his head. Then weigh your options. If you still think he intends to bring harm to the Brotherhood of Steel, you do what you have to do. But if you see a glimmer of mercy or humanity behind his eyes, I beg you, let him run. Before the Pribwin showed up, Dance had me identify a fallback point if we ever lost the police station. It was Listening Post Bravo, an old pre-war US military outpost on the northern frontier of the Commonwealth. It's isolated, and we're the only ones that knew about it. So, there's a good chance that's where he's headed. Just be careful. There's no telling what state of mind he's in right now, or if he trusts any of us at all.
I'm not surprised Maxon sent you. He never liked to do the dirty work himself.
彼はあなたが人造人間だって言ってたわ、ダンス。それが本当なら、あなたは裏切り者よ。
And he's right. I never expected to hear that I was one of them. If it wasn't for Halen, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So, what are your orders? Does Maxon even want me alive?
もちろん違う。人造人間は敵。覚えてる？
All too well. Look, I'm not blind to the fact that we're good friends, and this must be very difficult for you. I wish Maxon had sent someone else, but that doesn't change a thing. I'm a synth, which means I need to be destroyed. If you disobey your orders, you're not only betraying Maxon, you're betraying the Brotherhood of Steel and everything it stands for. Synths can't be trusted. Machines were never meant to make their own decisions. They need to be controlled. Technology that's run amok is what brought the entire world to its knees, and humanity to the brink of extinction. I need to be the example, not the exception.
本当にそんな風に感じるなら、そもそもなぜ逃げたの？
The moment I learned the truth, I knew my life was in danger. I'm a soldier, so self-preservation kicked in. I needed to regroup and assess the situation. Once I got here, and I had some time to think, I realized I'd just made everything worse. I should have stayed on the Prydwen and accepted the inevitable. Like I said, I need to be the example, not the exception.
それが人間なのか、話をするマシンなのかわからない。
The fact that you're confused only strengthens my decision. I'm ready to accept the consequences of my true identity. Maxon's ordered you to execute me, and I'll be damned if I'm going to stand in your way.
断るわ、ダンス。
I can't believe you'd risk your life just to keep me alive. Why would you do that for me?
マキソンが間違っているという証拠はあなたよ。あなたは人造人間だけど、やってきたことは全て人類のため。
You're right. How could I have been so blind? I'm not technology that's gone out of control. I've been a benefit to mankind, not its downfall. Perhaps now that you've opened my eyes, I can consider my next move.
ええ、すぐに考えましょう。あなたは死んだと噂されているわ。
I think we both know how we can solve that problem. The only clear choice is for me to leave the Commonwealth. The sooner I make for the border, the sooner I put this behind me. Take my holotags. Use them to prove that your mission was a success, or Maxim will just send someone else to hunt me down. Now, come on. Let's get the hell out of here. It's not her fault. It's mine.
I'll deal with you in a moment. Knight, why has this thing not been destroyed?
どうやって私たちを見つけたの？
When I sent you to execute this machine, I suspected you'd have difficulty following my orders. Now that I've arrived, it appears that my instincts were correct. What did it say to you that made you betray the Brotherhood? Why is it still alive?
彼は物ではない。あなたの最高のメンバーの一人よ。
Have you taken leave of your senses? Dance isn't a man. It's a machine. An automaton created by the Institute. It wasn't born from the womb of a loving mother. It was grown within the cold confines of a laboratory. Flesh is flesh. Machine is machine. The two were never meant to intertwine. By attempting to play God, the Institute has taken the sanctity of human life and corrupted it beyond measure.
All I've done for the Brotherhood, all the blood I've spilled in our name, how can you say that about
You're the physical embodiment of what we hate most. Technology that's gone too far. Look around you, Dance. Look at the scorched earth and the bones that litter the wasteland. Millions, perhaps even billions, died because science outpaced man's restraint. They called it a new frontier and pushing the envelope, completely disregarding the repercussions. Can't you see the same thing is happening again? You're a single bomb in an arsenal of thousands, preparing to lay waste to what's left of mankind.
ダンスは人類を殺したいのではなく、救いたいのよ。
You're as delusional as you are insubordinate. How can you trust the word of a machine that thinks it's alive? A machine that's had its mind erased, its thoughts programmed, its very soul manufactured. Those ethics that it's striving to champion aren't even its own. They were artificially inserted in an attempt to have it blend into society.
It's true. I was built within the confines of a laboratory, and some of my memories aren't my own. But when I saw my brothers dying at my feet, I felt sorrow. When I defeated an enemy of the Brotherhood, I felt pride. And when I heard your speech about saving the Commonwealth, I felt hope. Don't you understand? I thought I was human, Arthur. from the moment I was taken in by the Brotherhood, I've done absolutely nothing to betray your trust, and I never will.
It's too late for that now. The Institute has foolishly chosen to grant you life. You simply should not exist. I don't intend to debate this any longer. My orders stand.
It's all right. We did our best. You convinced me that I was wrong to be ashamed of my true identity, and I thank you for it. Whatever you decide, know that I'm going to my grave with no anger and no regrets.
Touching. Either you execute Dance, or I will not. The choice is yours.
全てを犠牲にして BOS のためだけに戦ってきたわ。今度は私の話を聞いて、それくらいはいいでしょ。
Very well. I'm listening.
彼が人間であろうとなかろうと、ダンスは数えきれないほどの BOS の兵の命を救った。さあ、今度は彼を救う時。
You're a stubborn woman. So, it appears we've arrived at an impasse. Allowing Dance to live undermines everything the Brotherhood stands for. Yet you insist that he remains alive, which leaves me with only a single alternative. Dance, as far as I'm concerned, you're dead. You were pursued and slain by this Brotherhood Knight, and your remains were incinerated. From this day forward, you are forbidden to set foot on the Pridway, or speak to anyone from the Brotherhood of Steel. Should you choose to ignore me, know you'll be fired upon immediately. Do we understand each other?
I do. Thank you for believing in me, Arthur.
Don't mistake my mercy for acceptance. The only reason you're still alive is because of her. I'm returning to the Pridwin Night. Take some time. Say your goodbyes. And then I expect to see you there. We still have the Institute to deal with.
It took a hell of a lot of guts to stand up to Maxim like that.
仲間はお互いを大切にする。何があっても。
That they do. Which is why I've decided to stay here. I didn't plan on spending the rest of my days at this old listening post. But it will have to do. Besides, you're still gonna need my help. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna let you wander the Commonwealth alone. If you ever need me, I'll be right here.
さようなら、ダンス。
Farewell. I hope the next time we meet, it will be under happier circumstances. Did you have time for that personal matter I mentioned?
大事なことのようね。どうぞ、話して。
It is important, but I don't even know where to begin. There's so much I wanted to say.
深呼吸をして、初めから話して。
I'll try. I've spent my entire life, or at least what I perceive as my life, following a plan to shape my own future. But since my banishment, I feel lost. Almost like I exist without purpose. For the first time since that moment I signed up with the Brotherhood, I don't have all the answers. I don't have a plan, and it scares the hell out of me.
人生を計画するなんて無理なことよ。私だって200年後の未来で目が覚めるとは思ってもいなかったのよ。
Yet you've been able to roll with every punch that's been thrown at you. Don't you understand? Everything I had, everything I knew is gone. In the span of a few hours, my identity was ripped from me and my world turned upside down. At least what you had was something tangible, something real. Your husband, your son. They were living, breathing humans who loved you and cared for you. Those sons of bitches who created me couldn't even be bothered to implant memories of having siblings or parents. I don't even know how much of my own past is artificial and how much is real. Can you even imagine that? I started out as nothing, and I've ended up as nothing. And I don't know what the hell to do about it.
本当に気の毒に思うわ、ダンス。ここまで深く影響を及ぼしていたとは気づかなかったから。
I appreciate that. I suppose you're right. Maybe I'm just missing the point. My life's starting over. And I need to come to terms with everything I've lost and everything I've gained, which includes something important you've made me realize. I don't know if it's friendship or an anomaly in my programming. After all, I'm not really human. But whatever it is, I can't deny that I'm feeling closer to you than anyone else I've ever met.
同じように思っているわ、ダンス。ただの友情だけではなく、 それ以上のものだといいんだけど。
Are you saying you're in love with me? This doesn't make any sense. After everything the Brotherhood taught you, how could you be in love with, well, a machine?
ただの機械だったらこんな会話はできないでしょ。
I don't know. I'm not certain what the Institute embedded into my brain to handle things like this. If I was human, wouldn't this be a hell of a lot easier?
あなたは機械じゃないわ、ダンス。実際ほとんどの人よりよっぽど人間っぽいわ。
You don't know how much it means to me to hear you say that. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. You're going to have to be patient with me. Coming to terms with these, well, human feelings is going to be a very difficult journey. But if we can tackle those obstacles together, I think that this relationship could last a very long time.
Have you ever had or come in contact with a person confirmed to be carrying a communicable disease?
これまでの人生で大病をしたことはない。
Good, good. Third question. And please, answer honestly. Have you ever had sexual relations with any species considered non-human?